ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 7, text 8. Rasoham apsu kaunteya prabhasmi sasi surayaho pranavaha sarva vedesu sabdaha khe paurusam nrso. What word meaning? Rasaha, taste. Aham, I. Apsu, in water. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Prabha, the light. Asmi, I am. Sasi Surayo, of the moon and the sun. Pranavaha, the three letters A-U-M. Sarva, in all. Vedesu, the Vedas. Sabdaha, sound vibration. Khe, in the ether. Paurusam, ability. Nrsu, in men. Translation. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man. Please repeat. O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras, and the sound in ether and ability in man. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. This verse explains how the Lord is all-pervasive by His diverse material and spiritual energies. The Supreme Lord can be preliminarily perceived by His different energies, and in this way, He is realized impersonally. As a demigod in the sun is a person and is perceived by all-pervading energy, the sunshine, so the Lord, although in His eternal abode, is perceived by His all-pervading diffusive energies. The taste of water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink sea water because the pure taste of water is mixed with salt. Attraction for water depends on the purity of the taste, and this pure taste is one of the energies of the Lord. The impersonalist perceives the presence of the Lord in water by its taste, and the personalist also glorifies the Lord for His kindly supplying tasty water to quench man's thirst. That is the way of perceiving the Supreme. Practically speaking, there is no conflict between personalism and impersonalism. One who knows God knows that the impersonal conception and personal conception are simultaneously present in everything, and that there is no contradiction. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya established his sublime doctrine, Achinta Veda and Abheda Tattva, simultaneous oneness and difference. The light of the sun and the moon is also originally emanating from the Brahmajyoti, which is the impersonal effulgence of the Lord. And Pranava, or the Onkar transcendental sound in the beginning of every Vedic hymn, addresses the Supreme Lord. Because the impersonalists are very much afraid of addressing the Supreme Lord Krishna by his innumerable names, they prefer to vibrate the transcendental sound Onkar. But they do not realize that Onkar is the sound representation of Krishna. The jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is blessed. Those who do not know Krishna are in illusion, and so knowledge of Krishna is liberation, and ignorance of him is bondage. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnanaanjanasalakaya Chakkhurunmilitamena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutali Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadadikam. Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे. हरे कृष्ण. I humbly seek all your blessings to discuss Bhagavad Gita. So, yesterday, in text 7, Krishna has already established his supreme position, that he is the absolute truth. Mata parataram nanyat kinchit asti dhananjaya. So, two things he has established, that he is the supreme personality of God, he is the absolute truth. And second principle, he has established that whatever we see, everything rests on him. Mai sarvam idam prottam sutre manigana eva. Like Vyasadeva has already established in the beginning of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Janmadi yasyata anvayaditarastar teso vignya surat. Janma adi yataha. When whatever we see in this creation, maintenance, sustenance, destruction, everything, Krishna is the source of everything. Ishopanishad says same thing. Isavasyam idam sarvam yat kinch jagatyam jagat. Whatever animate or inanimate, everything belongs to Supreme Lord. So that is what Krishna establishes his supreme position as absolute truth, and is the cause of all causes. Brahma says, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. Then somebody may ask that, okay, how will know that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Where there are different people. Some are non-devotees, some are devotees, some are Mayavadis, some are impersonalists, personalists, so many people are there. And Krishna explains in text 3, he told that there are so many people striving for perfection. Manusyanam sahasresu. Out of many thousands, those who are striving perfection, hardly very few people come to the path of perfection, and very few people knows me in truth. So that's what he is going to explain. Next verse is telling that there are two types of energies. One is material energy, another is spiritual energy. Bhumira panalo vayu kham mana buddhira evas. So these are the material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. And next verse is telling that beyond this matter there is a spirit soul. And already in the second chapter he has clearly established that how the jiva is different from the material body. So same way now Krishna is explaining that you should understand my supreme position. So how to see him? He is explaining in this verse, this is the text 8, 9, 10, 11. He is explaining about, Srila Prabhupada explains his pervasive nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. How will know him? So many devotees, many non-devotees, many people, they argue. Can you show me God? This is a normal question. Oh, you are practicing devotional service, can you show me God? First of all, we have to understand, suppose you want to know about me. Unless I reveal, you may do so many researches, so many things. You will not know about me, or I cannot know about you. And very simple way to believe him, when he speaks about him. Or we can know that those who love that person, if he speaks about and he is staying with him, then we will be able to know. Same way those pure devotees of Lord, they will speak about Krishna, because they are always interacting with Krishna. Or Krishna himself says that this is my position, this is what. So if you are simple-minded, immediately you will understand, yes, Krishna is speaking this, so he is Krishna. And in this verse, Krishna says that whatever you see, everybody rests upon me. So that means Sutre Mani Gana Eva, just like pearls hanging on a thread. Nobody can see the thread, but everybody sees the pearls. And Krishna is telling that whatever you see, Jagatyam Jagat, whatever we see, actually they are very valuable, just like pearls. Everything has its own value. Krishna never discarded us. He is telling that you are like pearls. You have very, very valuable. We may forget, we may not give importance, but Krishna's perspective that everybody, everything is in this world is very valuable. He feels actually incomplete without our presence. That is explained in Sanatana Goswami, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, when Gopakumar met Krishna in Vrindavan, Padaka Vrindavan. Krishna says, I feel incomplete without you. That is Krishna. And whenever this Baddha Jiva, conditioned soul, goes back to Godhead, they celebrate there. So this is Krishna's heart. And when we understand this, then the perspective actually, it completely changes. If somebody loves us so much, what is our reciprocation to him? So this verse will explain, addresses, different devotees see this different verse in different ways. So we see here how Prabhupada explains. Prabhupada first explains that there are two types of personalities. One is personalist, another is impersonalist. So those are impersonalists, they don't accept that Krishna is a person. But here Krishna says, Raso aham apsu konte. Aham means I. He is a person. So that he establishes here. So Adi Shankaracharya says that Advaita philosophy, that Jagat Satya, what is that? Brahma Satya, Jagat Mithya. So everything is false. Actually it is not false. Everything is existing. Everything has its utility. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu refutes that argument that Brahma, Satya, Jagat Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya, Jagat is temporary. So he explains in Achintya Bheda, Abheda Tattva. Something is inconceivable and there is a difference. Bheda means there is a difference, Abheda means there is no difference. So how it is explaining that although we see so many energies of Krishna, those energies are non-different from Krishna. So that is the state to which we have to come and feel about Krishna. Prabhupada gives the example of sun. The sun is there in its place, but the light comes to us. Even if we are inside the house, when light comes, immediately we feel the presence of sun. So the light and the sun, in one sense, they are non-different. In another sense, sun is in one place, light is in another place. So there is difference. So that's what Krishna is explaining, that you can understand me when you see everything in this world in relation to me. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturshloki Bhagavad Gita, 10th chapter, 8, 9, 10, 11 verses. And also Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 9th chapter, 33, 34, 35, 36 verse. It is completely explained how Krishna is everything. Means before the creation he existed, during the creation he is existing, and after the creation also he will exist. So it's very important to understand what is Krishna's position and how we can understand him, how we can remember him, how we can see him. That is the actual perfection of our life. So now he is first he establishes his position, then he is explaining that how you can perceive me. Then he is explaining Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya. In text 4 he told that Bhumi, Rapo, Analo, Vayu, Kham, Mano, there are the 8 elements. So those elements have their own substance. For example, how will understand earth, how will understand water, how will understand fire, air, ether. Then in order to understand that we perceive something. So there are 5 tanmatras. Tan means subtle, matra means element. There are 5 subtle elements are there in those elements. If you remove that substance, it will not act or it will not function in that particular way. For example, Krishna says, I am the taste of water. So if we will remove the taste from the water, water has no existence. You will not see what is water. Because water is such a nice thing. Without water, nobody can live. For example, suppose fire is there. Heat and light are the characteristic of the fire. And if an heat and light is removed, so fire has no use. Same way this tanmatra, there are 5 tanmatras like Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So in 3rd canto, it's very nicely, elaborately explained how this creation takes place. How from false ego starts intelligence, then mind, then these tanmatras come, they enters into the different, they are subtler like this. So when we drink water, everybody uses water, but how many of us appreciating water? Everybody, all of us, without water nobody exists. So here Krishna tells, the moment you drink water, water quenches our thirst. When we are thirsty, immediately take a glass of water, will be very satisfied. So that time when our thirst is quenched, so here we see that those who are pure devotees, immediately their attitude goes towards Krishna. My dear Krishna, you are so great. I am so grateful to you for supplying this water. A devotee naturally grateful to Krishna for everything, whatever is receiving from Krishna. So, are we grateful when we drink water? Are we grateful when we see sunlight? So this is what, even if in many of our devotees, means those who are practicing, they should practice this way, that here is water. Krishna has given this beautiful to quench my thirst. So I should be grateful. Thank you, Krishna. You are so nice. Otherwise, what will happen? We may practice devotional service, but impersonal consciousness will go with us. Like we come to temple, we see beautiful deities. But we forget about those devotees who have sacrificed their life and serving behind Krishna. So Krishna is not alone. Krishna and his devotees, they are very interrelated. So that's what Krishna is explaining us, that you can see me through my energies. Ata Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam indriye sevan mukhe jivado swayam eva spurati. This Krishna and his holy name, Ata Sri Krishna namadi na bhavet grahyam. By senses we cannot understand. When we serve with love and devotion, then everything will be revealed. Same way, when we drink water, we see water, but we cannot see the taste. We perceive the taste. When we get light, we see the sun, but we don't see that sight. Same way, Krishna is there. Without him, nothing can move. Even a blade of grass cannot move without sanction of Krishna. And how these things are very important in our day-to-day life. Take anything, earth, water, fire, air, everything we require in our life. Without that, we cannot sustain in our life. So that's why Prabhupada explained, the taste of water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink sea water because the pure taste of water is mixed with salt. The purity is the actually force. When the purity is removed, then gone. Same way, Srila Prabhupada wants us to become pure devotees. Always he says that even if one pure devotee comes out by studying this Bhagavad Gita, I will consider my Bhagavad Gita writing is successful. Even if we see, example, when the wife is chaste, she will feel happy and satisfied in her relationship with her husband. Same way, when we are connected with Krishna with pure mood, having no interest at all other than Krishna, then we will feel satisfied. Just like when we drink pure water, we feel satisfaction. So in every action of our life, if we are pure, then we will also feel satisfaction. So, Prabhupada explains here, the light of the sun and the moon is also originally emanating from Brahma Jyoti, which is the impersonal effulgence of this Lord. So that means Prabhupada going deeper, that we may see the light of the sun, moon. But from where that light comes? And he explains that it is nothing but Brahma Jyoti, that light emanates from Krishna. So that means everything we have to go deeper and deeper, then finally will definitely connect with Krishna. For example, we see the electric light here, bulb is glowing. But behind this glowing, there is a powerhouse from where the power is coming. So that's why Krishna wants us that we should not become a shallow devotee. We should become very deep devotee. That everything we see in this material world, when you see it, we should remember Krishna. That is what our practice actually. That should be our, he is telling that is those who are very, very fortunate, the jurisdiction of Krishna consciousness extends everywhere, and one who knows Krishna consciousness is blessed. What is Krishna consciousness? Consciousness means we are always thinking of Krishna. That is the essence of Bhagavad Gita. Manmana bhava madbhakta matyaji mam namaskuru. Mamivasi satyam te pratijani. This is what we are practicing. How I can think of Krishna. How I want to serve Krishna. How, whenever I see everybody, how I can see super soul in everybody's heart. That is what our practice is. Otherwise, it's an illusion. Those who do not know Krishna are in illusion, so knowledge of Krishna is liberation. And ignorance of him is bondage. So it's very important to understand this knowledge of the Absolute. Guru Krishna explains in the beginning that I am going to tell Jnana and Vijnana. Theoretically we understand, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By knowing this, what we are doing, if practical application is not there, so it remains theoretical. So this is the way how we can understand Krishna, the way Krishna is explaining to us. Somebody asked Srila Prabhupada that how we can understand this sun, moon, trees, everything. Krishna is somewhere, we don't know who is Krishna, and there are different energies. How we can think that this is Krishna's energies? And Prabhupada was giving nice example. So his speck was here and he asked the devotee, what do you see? He said, Prabhupada, this is speck. Whose speck is this is? This is your speck. Then he pointed out, whose shoe is that? This is your shoes. So like this he was going explain. So that means that when you see that shoes or the speck, immediately you remember Srila Prabhupada. So just like we can see here, there's Prabhupada's all items are stored. So when we see this, we see that, okay, this is Srila Prabhupada's. So same way, when whatever we see around us, it is Krishna's. Those who can see this, they are strongly connected. They will not be influenced by modes of material nature. Because due to lack of knowledge, we are actually suffering in this material world. That is bondage. Ignorance of him is bondage. Why we are struggling in this material world? Because of bondage. Vyasadeva clearly explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Ya samohita jiva atmanam trigunatmakam paropi manute anartham tatkrutam chabhipadyate. That although this living entity is transcendental to the three modes of material nature, he thinks himself as a material product. He keeps himself in the center. So that's why he is struggling. And how to get out from that? Only by hearing. From Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita, we can understand our relationship. Just like a rebellious soul, rebellious son goes away from his father's house. Father in different ways he reminds, so that how the son can come back to him. Same way, somehow or other we have left Krishna and came here. Now he is running after us. It is not for his benefit, it is for our own benefit. He cannot tolerate the sufferings that we are going through. That's why Srila Prabhupada, what is the need of going to America at the age of 70? He does not have any money, nothing. He has to go request so many people. There are so many difficulties. Because they carry compassion. They carry love for us. So in spite of getting all these valuable assets in our life, wonderful devotee association, wonderful deities, holy name has been given to us. So if we are not grateful, then our life is actually useless. And he is telling that everything, whatever you see, this ability in man, Paurusham Nrushu, I am the ability man. Everybody they say that I can do this, I can do that, I am so and so. From where that ability comes? When nursing that Hiranyakashipu tried so many ways to kill Prahlad Maharaj, and is unaffected by the completely unaffected by external torture and all these things. Then Hiranyakashipu got little doubt. He asked Prahlad, from where you are getting strength to face this type of challenges, tribulations and all? Prahlad Maharaj said, my dear father, the strength which you are getting to do all these things, the same person is giving me that strength to bear all these things. The source is one. You are not able to see him. By his mercy I am able to see. That is the difference. Whether non-devotees, devotees, personalist, impersonalist, Mayavadi, whoever he may be, but everything the Krishna says, ye tamam prapadante tam stateva bhajamyaham mama vartanuvartante manusya partha sarvasya. That everybody, you may accept me, don't accept me, but you are in my path. Without me, you cannot move. This is what Krishna wants us to recognize. That without him, we don't have existence at all. If you feel that existence is just like a decoration on a dead body. Just like if a body is dead and we make so many decorations and all these things. What is the use of such decorations? So same way, Jivera Swarupa hai Krishnara Nitya Das. The constitutional position of the living entity is to serve Krishna. If he is not doing that, what is the use of this thing? So that means Srila Prabhupada again and again emphasize and is reminding us that we have to situate in our original constitutional position. We have to accept the supreme position of Krishna, and the way he is telling, we have to follow in that path. So this verse explains how Lord is all pervasive by his diverse material and spiritual energies. So this is little understanding from this. If anybody you want to add anything? You have any question, Prabhu?
So you mentioned that seeing everything around us belongs to Krishna. So a pure devotee sees it actually. So can you explain more? What does he see exactly? How does he see Krishna?
Okay. In Brahma Samhita, it is explained, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hrudayesu Vilokayanti Yam Sama Sundaram Achinta Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusam Tamaham Bhajami. Those who are pure devotees, their eyes are oriented with prema. So they are saturated with prema so much because their relationship with Krishna is so thick, they don't see anything else other than when Durvasa Muni offended Ambarish Maharaj, and Ambarish, he didn't take the offense anything. He wants to kill, actually Durvasa Muni wants to kill Ambarish Maharaj by a fire demon. But Ambarish Maharaj is so occupied in his relationship with Krishna, he didn't think anything else. He is completely fixed. Other than that, fiery demon was killed by Chakra, Sudarshan Chakra. And Sudarshan Chakra chased after Durvasa Muni. And he was running. Finally he went and fell apart, fell in front of Narayan. And he told to forgive me. He told that I cannot do anything. He tells that the pure devotees, they are always in the core of my heart. I am in the heart of my devotees. And my devotees do not know anything else but me, and I also do not know anything than them. So that means their only concern, pure devotee, that they are always completely saturated with Krishna. They see Premanjana Churita Bhakti, that with that prema they can see. It is just like Prabhupada gives the example, or previous acharyas gives this example. When a boy loves a girl or a girl loves a boy, whatever he sees, suppose he sees nice mango, my friend likes this mango, so I will take and give to him. So he knows her likings and dislikings, the girl knows liking, disliking, and always constantly they will be always thinking of each other. Whatever opposition, whatever problem, and they don't worry about this. Same way, pure devotees are so saturated with love of Krishna So they always see Krishna. What is this? Because Nama, Rupa, Guna, Lila. These are non-different. Either when you are thinking of Krishna means Krishna is non-different. When we are chanting holy name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna. Holy name is a person, Nama Prabhu. So they completely, like once Gaura Arati was going on and there are no devotees attending, and next day Prabhupada asked some devotee, why have not come for Gaura Arati? Then yesterday also no devotees came, and who told no? Lord Shiva was there, Brahma was there, and all the, means Prabhupada could see everything. He could see, he was a pure devotee, he has a relationship with Krishna. But for conditioned soul, we have to practice it. The way Krishna is. That's why he is telling, Rasoham apsikante. The moment you drink water, animal will drink, he will not think anything. But when we are human beings, we are part and parcel, we have given higher knowledge. The moment we drink water, immediately our gratitude should come towards Krishna. If we don't feel gratitude towards Krishna, that means we are in annual consciousness. That's why the question of love. The person who is giving everything for our maintenance and sustenance, we are not saying, thank you Krishna for giving this water. Thank you Krishna for giving this prasadam. Thank you for giving this light. Without light, no vegetable will take place. So that's why he is explaining that this is the way you have to come to me. And non-devotees or practicing devotees, we should practice to see Krishna everywhere. That is what, because yamam vapi smaran bhavam tejanti antekala. Whatever consciousness we have at the time of death, then we'll take next birth according to our consciousness. The Krishna is making us to practice to think about Krishna, so at the time of death, we'll think of him and we'll go back to him. So sadhana bhakti, what we are doing is sadhana bhakti, and those are pure devotees, they are all sadhyas. And practically this verse also is about those who have developed some ruchi. They always find, where is Krishna, where is Krishna, just like Parikshit Maharaj. He sees Krishna in the womb of his mother, then as soon as he comes out, everywhere he sees Krishna, where is Krishna, where is Krishna. He was examining. So that's why we have to see in that way, follow the path of Acharya. One question also asked, somebody asked Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, how will see Krishna? Can you show me Krishna? Bhakti Siddhanta said, our process is not to see Krishna. Our process, we should act in such a way that Krishna will come and see us. So Srila Prabhupada has given, get up for Mangala Arati, chant your rounds, study scriptures, take prasadam, associate with devotees. So this is our process. And when we discuss Bhagavad Gita, we are associated with Krishna. Okay. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.